Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee with Kem and Hills. Happy Thursday morning. We are making our way through this week. This week is going fast, actually, which is weird for me, but
yeah, I can't believe we're already almost through April.
I know. That's wild. I feel like you get pregnant and like time stands still because you don't feel very well, especially that first trimester. And so, yeah, things are moving. Maybe that's a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign.
Yeah. And I think the weather too has been like a saving grace.
Oh, man, it's so nice to have a little bit of the warm weather, although it'd be really nice for it to just like decide instead of going back and forth.
For sure. It's a little like tumultuous. It's playing with our emotions.
Yes. But I do love all the flowers that are out, all the springtime flowers
happening.
And trees blossoming.
Yep.
It's definitely a thing.
This morning, actually, I woke up and we have a beautiful like red maple tree out front, and it happened. It happens overnight.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm just welcoming the warm weather. It's changing life as a mother too, because you can like take your child out of the house.
Oh, you mean you weren't one of those parents that just like bundle them up and they like can't walk, but they're trying to play on the playground?
Oh no,
I'm one of those.
Well, she couldn't walk until it's
right,
like recently. So
right.
I don't know what I would have done, but I did bundle us up, and every day I would take her for a walk in that stroller, and it was hard. It was hard to find the will, I will say. But now it's like, go out on the deck.
Right.
And go in the front yard. Like, it's very nice.
It is.
It's very nice. People on the West Coast don't understand what we're talking about.
No, we don't. I definitely remember that, and you're just like,
You're like, stop complaining.
You're like, springtime.
You made the decision to live there.
But like not.
Yeah, you're kind of like, what? All right, we're going to get into some hot topics. Okay, frugality versus extravagance. You know where we're going with this. We have a couple examples of people who demonstrated extreme frugality and extreme extravagance. Extreme extravagance. Say that 10 times. Say either 10 times.
Whoa.
So let's start with frugality. Ronald Reed, gas station attendant and janitor, who accumulated an $8 million fortune simply through living a frugal life and a buy and hold investment philosophy.
Compound interest.
Yes. But this man is spending $0. In fact, nobody in his life knows that he is wealthy.
Yep.
And his biggest thing that he does for himself, is he goes out to his favorite coffee shop and will get himself some lunch. That's it.
And sometimes he had a couple people pay for him because they didn't think he had enough money to pay for himself.
Right.
Because he was just living so frugally.
So that means he's probably not like shopping for like the finest apparel. He's just... But then what?
So he left it all to the local library in the hospital, which was pretty sweet.
I mean, that is pretty sweet. But that's don't you want like some payoff? Just like a little something?
It sounded like he lived a pretty simple life,
and that's
but
what
enjoyed
he wanted.
Yeah, he had his coffee at his coffee shop every day, or his lunch at his coffee shop every day.
It's like he wasn't planning for it. It just happened because that's just how he lives his life. I mean, I don't know. I believe in some indulgences, you know what I mean? If you've worked so hard, but it just sounds like it's who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just Ronald Reed. He just wanted to live the simple life. And the library and the hospital are going to benefit massively from that. So this is in comparison to Bill Perkins, who made millions as an energy trader on Wall Street, and his life's mission was to spend all of his money or give it away by the time he dies.
He even wrote a book about it called Die with Zero. And he spent a big chunk of his fortune actually celebrating his 45th birthday in St. Bart's with a bunch of friends and family, where he flew them all down there, paid for everything while they were there, provided entertainment.
Didn't he hire a celebrity to come out and sing?
He had a couple different nights where he had fun and entertainment coming.
Rented like a whole beachfront resort or something, and I mean, he went all out.
Yeah. And just chose to, that's how he spent a chunk of his money.
A large chunk of his money
to
at
celebrate.
45 years old. I mean, that's young.
Yeah.
But that is his goal. So, okay, he has a quote. And I found this fascinating and kind of interesting. I'm going to read it to you. Invest in experiences that yield long-lasting memories. Always bear in mind that everyone's health declines with age. True. Give your money to your children before you die instead of saving for their inheritance, and learn to balance current enjoyment with later gratification. I mean, when you put it like that, it all sounds nice. Because it sounded like originally he was just spending his money sort of frivolously, but it sounds like he still wanted to gift money to family as an inheritance, but before he dies.
Yeah, I think his mentality and the reason why he wants to give or spend all of his money before he dies is to enjoy the fruits of his labor himself, whether it's giving it away to friends or family or, maybe some charities. I don't know. They didn't go into that.
Right.
But also spending it on things he enjoys. So not only celebrating his birthday, but he apparently loves poker and travels to go to poker tournaments because that's what he loves to do.
Right.
I actually really resonated with that quote. I also wrote it down.
It's kind of an inspiring quote.
Yeah. And then also, there was also a quote in the article by the writer that wealth is income you don't spend. But you can also be wealthy with experiences and memories. And I also thought that was like kind of more my mentality when it comes to spending and saving money. I'm definitely not our friend Ronald Reed. But I'm also not our Bill Perkins either. Yeah. It's kind of in between.
Yeah.
I also don't have the millions that either of them have.
I know. It's kind of hard to fully relate to either because they're such extreme situations as well. But yeah, I mean, Bill Perkins is a multi-millionaire, and what he does for a living facilitates that, and that's just not a lot of people's story. So as much as I'd like to say that I relate to that, that's not my reality.
But I think that there's kind of this middle ground, at least for myself, where I want to save enough to have enough in retirement where I get to enjoy my retirement, but also on the way, enjoy my life while I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So I was talking with a girlfriend the other day, and she was saying how she wants to go to part-time work, but she also wants to travel, but she also needs to, provide for her family. And her husband was like, well, how can you want to travel and cut back on our income and take care of the family and do all these other things? Like, you need to not travel.
Right.
And he's not a huge traveler. She loves to travel. And so she's like, but that's part of what I want to do with my money to enjoy my life.
Right.
And so I just think it's about picking the things that, and it might not be an expensive hobby. It could just be
bingo night.
Yeah.
It's not me. I don't know where that came from. I don't even know if you have to pay for bingo night.
I don't know either, but there's a lot of experiences that you don't have to pay for.
Right.
And bingo night might be one of them. Maybe you do. Maybe there's a upfront cost.
Well, it's like Ronald Reed found, I think, joy in just the simplicities of life.
Right.
Which is, I think it's to each their own, truly. Yeah, I want to feel like I am living my life to the fullest whilst being financially responsible, especially because I have a family. I think I was more on the side of spending for my enjoyment as it came prior to having a family, for sure. In my 20s, it was experiences. It was going out with my friends. It was going on vacations to cool places and experiencing different cultures and shopping. You know, it was kind of a more selfish way of living, and I enjoyed it. But what brings me joy and eases my stress is knowing that my family is safe and they're, set up safely for their future, whilst also prioritizing some of the things that are important to me. And that, for me, it's travel.
Right.
That's like, and experiences, even if it's just a nice dinner somewhere or just the family, an outing somewhere, but definitely travel. And that is something I want to do with my life when I look at my life. And if that was something I just cut out completely because I wanted to be so like a diligent saver, I would feel a lot of regret, I think, in the long run. So it's really finding that balance of what you can, what's really, really important to you.
Yeah, I think that finding that balance of what you want to do with your money, like that's what money is. It's a means to an end typically. And that is what you should be able to hopefully do with your money is make those choices and figure out, do you want to be the Ronald Reed? Or do you want to be the Bill Perkins? Or is there like this good middle ground where you're saving enough, taking care of your family, but you still get to enjoy your life while you have your life instead of just waiting for tomorrow or tomorrow or tomorrow.
Right.
Like tomorrow might never come.
Exactly. It's true. And as we learn every day on the show, with good money management opens more doors of opportunity. So yeah, I think somewhere in the middle is a good, is a safe place to be.
Agreed.
All right. On that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back with some more hot topics. Welcome back, everyone. We have another hot topic to dive into. This one is titled How to Protect Your Personal Finances When You Launch a Business, and this is from CNN. Okay, there were nearly 5.4 million new business applications in the United States last year.
Yep. This is the highest ever recorded. And the previous highest was in 2020. So the last 2 years with the Great Resignation, the pandemic, people are starting their own businesses and taking their time and their money and their matters into their own hands and trying to start their own business, which is really exciting.
Yes, and as we've talked about on here before, the pandemic was a wake-up call for a lot of people who were, forced out of their jobs or, had to stay home because of childcare situations or whatever it may be. Taking care of parents, as we talked about as well.
Yes. Yeah.
The sandwich generation.
Yeah.
That's right. Wow. We are learning. I'm so impressed sometimes. I'm like, with us. Hopefully you're all right here with us and you know what we're talking about because you've been tuning in.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think it's inspired people to sort of, do these things.
Or at least try them.
Because it forced them to take a step back and reevaluate their lives. Am I happy doing what I'm doing? Do I want to work under someone? Or should I've had this idea that I've wanted to do for a while, and should I really go for it?
Yeah. And I think one of the other things that the article points out is that unfortunately about a third of new businesses do fail within the first 2 years. So there are some financial ways you can protect your personal finances when you do start your own business.
Right. Okay.
Debbie Downer over here.
Debbie Downer. No, but it's important to be a realist and know that this could happen and to prepare for that because you don't want to end up, somewhere you don't want to be.
Yeah. With your personal finances as well as your business.
Exactly. So prepare for financial sacrifice, ... at first.
So I think that, one of the things to consider is that typically most new businesses don't make money at first.
Well, it said in the article, for the first few months, I would say, or longer.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say or longer.
I was like, a few months isn't very long to be investing in your
to be
new
honest
business.
with
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
Doesn't
anyone watch Shark Tank?
I do.
Yeah, me too. Yep. So consider ramping up that savings before launching your business. Yeah.
So having a personal savings set aside so that you have something to live off of, especially if you quit your day job and you're putting all your time and money into your business.
Yes. Yes. Nest egg.
And then as your business does start to make money, put aside about a year of business expenses into a savings account or into an account so that you are ready for any hurdles that come your way financially.
All right, the next thing you can do to prepare is to put yourself on the payroll. So start putting money into a retirement account, even if it's not much at all, just start protecting your future.
And there's different ways you can do that. A traditional IRA or Roth IRA, if you're planning on putting about $500 a month or less than $6,000 aside, because there are caps on contributing to those throughout the year. The difference between an IRA versus a Roth IRA.
Have fun. Take it away, Hillary.
So an IRA is you put that money in pre-tax, but when you pull it out, it is taxed on what grew in there as well as whatever tax rate you're at.
Fun.
With an Roth IRA, you put the money in taxed, but then it can grow, and if you have when you have qualifying withdrawals, you don't have to pay for taxes on the back end.
Okay.
So that is a better option if you think that you're going to be in a higher tax bracket, which hopefully you are.
Yeah, your business is going to thrive, I'm telling you.
When you're in retirement. So that's why people, the differences between the two IRAs.
I did not know that. Learn something new every day, ROI TV. Hello. Remember that your business is not your nest egg. Yeah, I think people get like really eager and excited and believe in their product, but you have to remember that like a third of businesses fail. I didn't want to say that word.
Yeah.
That's a nasty word. But it's the truth.
And, a lot of people think about that they're going to sell their business as they get closer to retirement, and that's what they're going to be able to live off in retirement. And though that might be the case to help your retirement, making sure that along the way, especially if you have a successful business, that you are diversifying. So it's not the only asset that you have.
That you have confidence in your business.
Yes. But, things happen. Pandemics happen. Global shortages happen that could affect your business. Maybe your industry completely goes away. I don't know. There's just a lot of options that can happen between now and your retirement, most likely. So making sure that you have multiple ways to retire.
Yep.
Like we talked about, setting up that IRA account.
That's right. Like we talk about all the time.
Right.
You can learn about all of this on Browns and Suits as well. They really get into the nitty-gritty of it.
They have some really great tips on creating a successful small business.
Yeah.
And whether it's from creating a team or just really how to market these days, or different industries that really ways you can benefit to pull your small business up. It's a really great resource to check out.
Yes, so if you are one of the 5.4 million new businesses, then you should tune in, because they really do. They get really into the nitty-gritty of little things that you can do to help your business thrive.
And guess what? They're on today.
They are on today. So now's the time.
Now's the time.
Now's the time. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back, and I will remind you of the shows airing today on ROI TV. Welcome back, everyone. I just want to remind you to catch today's episodes of Elder Talk, Options Crash Course, and as we talked about earlier, Browns and Suits. You can catch all of these on
Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or on our apps on your iOS or Android phone. So check us out and start learning with us today.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Coffee with Kim and Hills. We will see you next week with some more coffee.